everyone, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. It's Tuesday, July 20th, 2010, and tomorrow, July 21st, is the 3-year anniversary of the release of Deathly Hallows, and I was just sort of thinking about that and how long it's been since we had new Harry Potter canon and how exciting that was, and sort of makes me want to go back to the beginning and start all over again for the umpteenth time, so maybe I'll have to do that soon. Yesterday I finished a model for one of my new patterns that I'm working on. It's actually not the most original pattern, but it is my version of a fairly traditional block, and this will be for a class, and the pattern will also be available for sale on my website. And I did my own version of a Mariner's Compass, and this is works up to a 16-inch piece, and as you can see, I've already quilted and everything. That's going to be a wall hanging. I've got a sleeve on here, but this would also make a really great single block. So if you wanted to do a whole quilt from this, I think that would be amazing. I'm thinking about doing a baby quilt like this, just because I think it would be fantastic. And while I was sewing it, I was thinking it would be awesome to have 2 shades of red on a white background with 2 shades of green would make a great Christmas one, or do different colors of blue on white, or do blue and yellow. Anyway, so very geometric. My husband really loved this one because he's a big fan of geometry. Not as much my style as a lot of the stuff that I've been doing lately, but I really enjoyed working on this one. Quilting it was really fun because I love echo quilting, and as you can see, I just echo quilted the crap out of this. So I really enjoyed making this one. This will be on my online store soon, and you'll be able to take a class with me. It'll be a 3-hour class, and we will work on that wall hanging, or you can use it as a block if you choose. For this next part, I'm going to do something that I call on my craft blog Wayback Craft. Wayback Craft is something I did a really long time ago, and I haven't really blogged about it, or I've posted pictures and I've never really shared the story behind it, so that's what I'm going to do today. These are all crafts that I made for my kids, and the very first one I have to show you is this alphabet block. This alphabet block was made for Elena. I made it before she was born. I did not own a sewing machine. I did not have fabric. My mom had given me these iron-ons, and that's really all I had. That, and I had a little sewing kit that had thread and a pair of scissors and stuff. And this is made out of a recycled sweatshirt. I actually think it was sweatshirt arms, but there may have been more to it than that. I do remember hand stitching this. I didn't have a pattern. I just cut squares out until they were all sort of the same size, and I sewed them together after I'd ironed on the letters to each side. Both of my kids played with this. They chewed on it. They spilled things on it. It's been washed a million times, and considering Elena is 15, I think this looks pretty good. And it's just fun for me to see this and remember working on this before she was born. It's pretty exciting. Another thing that I made for her when I was pregnant with Elena, like I said, I didn't have a lot of sewing supplies. I really didn't have any fabric, so we didn't have a lot of cash floating around, but I did have a lot of clothing that I wasn't wearing anymore. So I made this little bear for Elena. He's totally handmade. This piece right here came off of a pair of jeans that I wore in the 80s. And any of you 80s girls probably remember the jeans that had the flaps, like the tops would fold down and they had buttons. And so this was the flap of a pair of those jeans. This was another pair of jeans that I cut into shorts or something. And the rest were all t-shirts. Well, no, not all the rest. His head and his arms were t-shirts. His nose is a piece of denim. This is a piece of lace off of, I think it was off of like a thrift store nightgown or something. This is a piece of, hold on, I have to let tack it in. Come on in, Grumpy. This is the neck off of the red t-shirt, and his little feet are the tops of socks. And this was her first teddy bear. She still keeps him in her room. He lives in her animal hammock where she keeps her favorite stuffed animals, and I don't know if she ever named him or not, but she loved this bear, and she dragged him around lots of places. Oh, and his little tail is also the lace from the thrift store I'm almost sure that was a thrift store nightgown, but it's been a long time. So this little guy is 15 years old. The last one I have to show, and I did make 1,000,001 things for my kids over the years, and it would take me probably hours to show all of them, but these are just some of my favorites that I've remembered recently or come across recently. The block started the whole thing, the cube. The kids found it when they were cleaning, and neither one of them remembered it because they played with it when they were so small, but I remembered it. This I made for Gareth when he was about 2, and he wanted to learn how to tell time. And the numbers are all the iron-on patches that you can use to like repair jeans and things like that. They're intended to iron on the inside of your pants when you get a hole in them or whatever. And I had a whole bunch of those that my mom had given me, and I just cut them into numbers. And I cut this circle out and just ironed it on there. This is a button that I just stitched on, and then these are pipe cleaners. And you can figure out the time. And so that's how he learned to tell time, was this clock. Today's backdrop is my Granny's 9 patch that I've been working on. It's actually folded in quarters right now because it's the only way I could fit it on my design wall because it's really, really huge. I really want to quilt it myself. The reason I hung it up today is I wanted to show you what I'm thinking about doing, because most of these were hand stitched, and there are a few machine stitched blocks, but most of them were hand stitched. And what happened was, as I squared them up, some of the stitching on the ends started unraveling a little bit. So what I'm thinking about doing is actually quilting this myself on my machine and doing like a wavy stitch or a zigzag stitch so that I cover every seam, because I want to make sure that when I wash this it's not going to fall apart. So I haven't quite decided how to quilt it yet. I'm still thinking about that. I've been toying with the idea of doing it myself or having it professionally quilted, and I can't decide, and I don't have time to work on it right now because I've got classes coming up. I'm trying to get my models done for my classes. I'm trying to get new products on my website. My kids are home for the summer, and I've just been too busy to get to this. And I really want to finish it. I really want to finish it. So I just haven't gotten to it yet. I did have one craft that I forgot to share last week, which was an earring hanger that I made. And I'm actually going to just go grab it so that I can show you. I'll be right back. This is an earring hanger that I made for Elena. I posted the tutorial on my craft blog last week. I also put it on Cut Out and Keep. But what this is a piece of a wire cube storage system, and we used to have this whole storage system set up when this room was an office, and we ended up taking most of that out, and we still have a few of those cubes with stuff in them, but for the most part we don't use it anymore. And I had this extra piece that had been just sort of stuck behind a shelf, and when we were cleaning in here we found it, and I'd set it aside to put in my stuff that was going to go to the thrift store. And I hadn't done it. I just hadn't taken it to the thrift store, and then was helping my daughter with her jewelry, and she said, you know, her earrings didn't all fit on her little frame that I had made her a couple years ago, which was also something I posted on my craft blog. And I was looking around and said, well, I have to have something. There should be something in this house that I can use to make you a bigger one. So I was looking around and I found this wire frame, and I thought, you know, that would be great. Yes. Yes, it's okay. I'll just cut you out.
Okay.
Did you need something? You gonna hang out and watch me while I finish?
Sure.
Okay. So I took this this wire, and I found a whole piece of plastic canvas, and then these are zip ties. These little, hold that up there. These are zip ties. And it literally took me 5 minutes to make this. I used the 3M Command adhesive hooks and put those on our bathroom wall and hung this on there, and that was it. And then we covered it with earrings, and it was all done. So I think that's it. I think that's the last thing for today. If you guys have any fun stuff to share this week, I would love to see it. For everyone that went to Infinitus, I hope you have some awesome show and tell today. And for everyone else, I will see you guys next week. Bye.